morning everyone, I'm back in my normal setup. Today is January 13th, 2021 and I read Genesis chapter 13. Let's start off by reading a verse, actually two verses. It is verse 6 and 7. It goes, "So that the land could not support both of them dwelling together, for their possessions were so great that they could not dwell together. And there was a strife between the herdsmen of Abraham's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock." So today's chapter is all about the separation of Lot and Abraham. As we just read, as a result of both of them having too many possessions, they cannot live together, and that decision becomes final through the fights and arguments of their shepherds. So Abraham basically gives Lot a first pick chance, and Lot chooses what is pleasing to his eyes, as it says in verse 10. "And Lot lifted up his eyes and saw that the Jordan Valley was well watered everywhere, like the garden of the Lord." Abraham, on the other hand, it's a bit different. Verses 14 through 17 talks about this, and I'm going to read bits and snippets from every verse. "The Lord said to Abraham, 'Lift up your eyes and look from the place where you are. For all the land that you see I will give to you and to your offsprings forever. I will make your offsprings as the dust of the earth. Arise, walk.'" There is no description of how good or maybe even bad the land is. It simply says that God will give it to him and his offsprings, and he shall walk and go. Here's what I took away from the land that Lot went to and the land that Abraham went to. I know we're hopping a bit back and forth between verses, but verses 12 and 13 perfectly summarize their decisions. Abraham settled in the land of Canaan, while Lot settled among the cities of the valley and moved his tent as far as Sodom. Now the men of Sodom were wicked, great sinners against the Lord. Lot, who chose what looks good in his eyes, ended up going and settling in a city that rebels against God. From today's chapter, we don't know what the land that Abraham settles in looks like. We know for sure that it's the land that God wanted him to go to. I want to encourage everyone who's watching this video to make choices that makes God happy today, not ourselves. Now, I'm not saying go out of your way doing things you hate. I'm saying analyze every situation and choices you make and do what pleases our Lord. Well, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining. You can watch yesterday's up there, which is about the call of Abraham. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow with Genesis chapter 14.